Alright, what's going on? I wasn't planning on filming this today. I don't know, I have a fucking big cup of coffee and I just figured I'm right now in the mood. I want to do it right now. So since these did not get numbered before, literally I put them in an order as I was pulling them off the shelf. It's less of a proper order than normal. I gave it literally 10 seconds of thought at the end of it, switching some shit around. This is absolutely not what it would be if I had sat down and really thought about it. Obviously, if you can read, this is what we're here to do. We're here to talk about top 25 favorite albums of 2020. I should have just gone Mike Seatown style and did 30. However, I am going to do Mike Seatown style in the sense that this video is going to be shorter than all of the other ones. I'm not going to stand around and talk about each record forever like I normally do. I'm going to show you, say a couple things about it, and I'll talk a bit more about the like the top ones. You're going to see a bunch of shit here that I've not shown before. If you want to stay up to date, I would recommend following me on Instagram. I stay active on Instagram. I post pretty much daily there. So if you like seeing my collection, that's where you're going to see the most, you're going to get the most detailed look at my collection on Instagram. So link in the description, check that shit out. Also, as normal, I only pulled out records that I actually have in my collection, and I'm not going to be talking about things that I don't have in my collection. I do have a bunch of records on the way that have been on the way for a while that absolutely would be on the top 25 list had they been here physically. Alright, we're gonna get into it now, and remember, a lot of people need their fucking handheld when it comes to these types of videos. Not one person who watches this video is going to agree with all 25. And you're going to notice in the comment section, most people don't complain about it, even though they don't agree 100% with my list. Go fuck yourself. I promise you that I do not care if something on my list upsets you. It's my list, not yours. If you want to drop your list in the comments, please feel free to. I'd like to find new shit. On top of that, I absolutely don't care that you disagree with my list. It doesn't matter. Alright, I have almost as many honorable mentions pulled out as I do actual like top 25, so I'm just gonna get through, I'm just gonna speed through them. And right off the bat, we hit a record that, looking at it now, absolutely probably should have been on the top 25, but I'm not gonna change it now. This is Borda's Rope with Near the Shores of Cathal. This is pretty riffy, raw black metal. If you've never heard Borda's Rope, it's a pretty new band to me too, only like 6 or 7 months. But this band is worthy of your attention. Check it out. Miasmatic Necrosis with Apex Profane. This is a record that, if I listened to a bit more like gore grind shit, then I absolutely probably would have put this on the list. This is a great record. It's just not something I reach for all that often because, gore grind is kind of few and far between for me. But this record is absolutely disgusting. Also, the new Incantation album, Sect of Vile Divinities, was a record that sort of grabbed my attention. I'd never really been a big Incantation fan, but I heard the single that, well, who was it? Relapse? Yeah, Relapse had put out, and I actually quite liked it. I grabbed the record. It's good stuff. Now going back, I like the earlier Incantation stuff better, along with everybody else. This is a good record regardless though, just fucking filthy death metal. After 6 or so years of waiting, we also got a new Pro Sanctus Inferi album. This is Hypnotic Blood Art. This is pretty, like, aggressive black metal. Stuff like this is not really always something I'm in the mood for, but from time to time it's good for scratching an itch, so yeah, really good stuff. I've got no excuses. This should be on the 25 list. Circle of Arbros, Vaiminen Yuxo, I have no idea. This is one of the better Circle of Arbros records. Very fluid sort of black metal with all sorts of outside influences. Yeah, this is really, really great stuff, man. I love Circle of Arbros, and as I said, this should be on the list. Kriegsgraben, Seasons of Blood and Fire. This is something I just have to be in the mood for. It's very sort of raw, aggressive sort of black metal. Yeah, this is a good fucking record, man. And I think, again, with more listens, I probably could have found a spot for it on the list. But super raw, aggressive black metal. I just have to be in the mood for it. Another record that probably could have been on the list is this. This is Griff Skimpfning with Svart Materia. Just very sharp, cold black metal. I'm sure you know Griff Skimpfning, but if not, check that one out. For the first time, King Dude put out a record that didn't make the list. I don't know what it is about this one, man. I just don't like it as much as what he's been doing prior to this. Some good songs, but you know, not as good as King Dude can do. This is another record that should be on this list, and honestly, like, I thought about just throwing it in randomly somewhere just so it is, but the new Cenotaph with Monte Verita, this is absolutely incredible. Like I said, I think if I found a spot for it on the list, it'd probably be pretty high up. I'm just, you know, retarded. White Knights put out something that probably also could be on the list. Really, really interesting. I don't even know how to describe it, just listen to it. All right, let's get into the actual list. If that took too long, I'm just gonna trim some of them out and not even show them. I don't want this video to be all that long. All right, number 25. This is something that's only gotten one listen from me so far, but it was good enough for me to make sure it had a spot on the list. This is the new Occult Burial with Burning Eerie Lore. If you like the sort of earlier sound of black metal, like late 80s sound black metal, Occult Burial is right up your alley. Another record that only got one listen from me so far is the new Achilles with Melano, maybe? I'm super stoked to see this band return with a full-length record, and this is motherfucking scary, dude. It's right in the same vein as the first album. Really fucking cool. If I had more listens, it might be higher up, but this shit's awesome. At 23, we have Magoa with the self-titled full-length album. This is another Portuguese black metal band, but this is much better. It's kind of melodic and melancholic. There's some calmer moments, just really, really good stuff. 22, I put Cathartic Cervix with Equizoicum. Super hellish sort of black death metal. This is right from the murky depths, man. Yeah, it's hard to talk about in detail, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Number 22, Cathartic Cervix. 21, Ringare with Sorrow Befell. Couple years, no, I guess it was last year, the 2019 list, I put Under Pale Moon pretty high up. This one just didn't grab me like that one did. I don't know why. It's a great record in the sort of same vein. I know Under Pale Moon was like written or recorded a while ago, so maybe that's why, because I think this is like brand new material. Something like that. Really, really good sort of symphonic black metal. Yeah, badass. Number 20 is Putrid Pile's Revel in Lunacy. I'm so stoked to see a Putrid Pile record get put to vinyl finally. This is just another Putrid Pile record, and I have no complaints. Putrid Pile puts out my favorite sort of brutal death metal that there is, and I absolutely adore this record. So that's Revel in Lunacy, Putrid Pile, number 20. Number 19, this is Midnight with Rebirth by Blasphemy. This is Midnight's first record through Metal Blade Records, and you know, though signing to Metal Blade Records may sort of be some type of dark foreshadowing, you know, Midnight put out another Midnight album. The thing about that is, if Midnight's gonna release another just Midnight album, I like the earlier ones better. There are some fucking fantastic songs on this one, and Midnight, you know, they didn't change their style for this. Badass, but not quite as memorable as some of the earlier ones. So that's 19, Midnight, Rebirth by Blasphemy. Number 18, this band is relatively new to me, but I absolutely adore this record. This is House of Harm with Vicious Pastimes. This year I've absolutely fallen in love with the post-punk and dark wave type shit, and House of Harm released this, and it just feels very nostalgic for me. I have no idea why. There's some truly, truly good songs on this, and if you've never heard House of Harm, please check it out. Number 17, I have Coulter Wall with Western Swing and Waltzes. Coulter Wall, if this had been one of the earlier records, this would have been much higher on the list. This album absolutely didn't really, you know, catch me like those earlier records did. I miss the sort of deep voice that Coulter Wall employed on the earlier stuff. But this is still a really good country music record. Number 16, I put the new Drog with Ireli Sindelag. I don't know, probably not. But I absolutely love this record, man. This is one that probably could have been higher on the list as well. When I first heard this, You know, it truly like blew my mind. And I'd been waiting on a full-length album from Drog since I first heard In Glorification of Dark Legions back in like 2016. And I haven't listened to that one in a while, but I don't think it was like this. This one's got a lot of calmer moments, and it feels a lot more creepy than it does sort of cold and aggressive. Number 15, this is Rob Coffin-Shaker's Underground Fire with Ashes of Life. I am so fucking happy that there was finally a full-length album released by Underground Fire. This is fantastic. Some of these songs, actually probably like half of these songs have been on other releases, but they were all like re-recorded for this, I think with the exception of End of the Night, maybe. But this is a fantastic record, sort of just good rock and roll. Number 14, we have Malakarpitan with Kropinski One. Really detailed black metal. Lots of little intricacies in here that make it fucking super interesting. Malakarpitan has always just had a bunch of layers to their music, and I love the imagery, I love the sort of story. It's all very cool, and if you've never heard Malakarpitan, this is probably a good place to start. Number 13, we have Cult of Fire. This is a double album. This is Cult of Fire with Moksha and Nirvana. I just basically treated them like one record here and put them in this spot because the records are not, you know, they're not different enough to take up separate spaces. But this is absolutely incredible, man. Cult of Fire has crafted something pretty special here. And if you've never heard of Cult of Fire, start with this. Start with either one of these records. Truly incredible. And this is a record that I've tried talking about in like a vinyl video a few times, and just something keeps going wrong. Maybe I made some insensitive comments and the universe ain't having it. I don't know. Number 12, we have Forever Grey with Departed. Forever Grey is the band that sort of got me into like the dark wave shit. I've been familiar with Forever Grey for quite a bit longer than I have any of the other stuff that I now love. So to see Forever Grey first put out a new album and show interest in putting shit on vinyl, but this band knows how to release dark wave that is both dark in atmosphere and sort of just fun. I love it. Fantastic shit. Number 11, we have Bothana with Commando. This is another band that I was clued into in 2020, despite there being a pretty big catalog. And I really love this style of like raw melodic black metal. Just with the imagery, and not specifically of this one, but if you look at some of the other like album covers, demo covers, it doesn't look like it would sound quite like this, but there are plenty of moments on this that just sound kind of pretty, and at the same time just being raw black metal. It's really cool, man. I absolutely love this project, and I'll be keeping my eye out for what comes next. Alright, top 10, let's fucking do it. Number 10, we have Shitfucker with Sex with Dead Body. I'm so happy that Shitfucker finally put out another album, man, because I remember I was stoked when the first one came out back in 2013. So to see Shitfucker come back with a full-length album after 7 years, you know, it was flooring to me. And to come back with a record like this, man, this one is pretty different than the first one. There are some more like experimental shit on this one, and the album sounds a lot like messier, but in the best way that I could use that adjective. Really truly great, man. If you've never heard Shitfucker, maybe start with the first album. I feel like the first album is a bit more I don't know, likable, but and I still prefer the first album, but this one's got some great shit on it. Fantastic. Number 9, we got Butcher with 666 Goats Carry My Chariot. This is so far out of like, you know, what I normally listen to. So when I first heard this, it truly fucking blew my mind. Don't even know how to describe it. It's like black metal mixed with like heavy metal, mixed with thrash metal with like a heavy metal attitude. It's super fucking cool. There's some truly great songs on this one as well. The lyrics are fantastic. Lots of really fast vocal patterns. Right up against songs with very slow vocal patterns like the title track. This one is one that I think a lot of people are gonna, you know, really latch onto at some point. It's just a matter of time. Absolutely fucking incredible. Number 8, fucking finally we got a Rope Sect debut album. I've been interested in this project from the very moment I heard the first fucking song from Rope Sect. And, you know, that was back in 2016, 2017, maybe 2016, fuck, I don't remember. Either way, I was absolutely floored to hear that there was a Ropesec full-length album coming out, and it did not disappoint. This album probably would be a bit higher on the list if there wasn't 2 songs with a different vocalist, the guy from Grave Pleasures. Good vocalist, but I much prefer the Ropesec guy. There's some truly great songs on here, and I'm always excited to hear what Ropesec is doing next. I know there is a 10-inch coming out soon, maybe, I don't know. But I'm just happy to hear something new, and this is a really, really great outing. Number 7, we have the Black Dahlia Murder with Verminous. The last Black Dahlia Murder album that came out was Nightbringers, and that album made #1 back in 2017. This album has songs that are better than I think anything on Nightbringers, but there are some songs on here that don't really grab onto me. I don't know though, there are some songs on here like Verminous, the title track on this one is legitimately like probably one of the best songs to come out this year. And you know, besides that, there are a handful of other songs on here that blow a lot of shit out of the water, but as a whole, because of the songs that don't really latch on to me, I had to put it a little bit lower on the list, and it pains me to do because the Black Dahlia Murder is one of my favorite bands. I fucking adore this shit, and I think number 7 is a fair spot regardless. Number 6, we have Liv Sletta with Det Vesegrade Livet. Probably not how you say any of that, but this is the first thing I heard from this band. It's a relatively new band, formed like last year, and with this sort of style of, you know, a great mixture of aggression and melody. A lot of it sounds creepy and melancholic. You know, the vocals are super feral. Everything about this is great, man. The mixture of all these elements, it's a perfect combination of a bunch of different stuff, and I think that this band is probably going to get some you know, bigger attention in the coming years, especially if they keep this up. Fucking fantastic. Alright, top 5. My top 5 is going to be made up pretty much solely of shit you've heard. Number 5, True Werewolf with Devil Crisis. This is the best thing that this band has ever done. I've heard a lot of it. None of it comes close to this. This is a bit closer to the Satanic War Master sound, with some exceptions, like the song Magic Fire, which basically sounds like a Motorhead song with black metal vocals. My favorite on here, though, I think, is probably Chi no Namida. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's melodic. It's raw. It's angry. And those are all the things I need for pretty much a perfect black metal album. Number 4, I put The Wizard with Subterranean Exile. This is a sort of traditional heavy metal band from Australia, or maybe Tasmania, I don't fucking know. But this is a truly fun, just over the top. The vocals are like super exaggerated, very nasally. But the songs are goddamn near perfect. There's some really catchy stuff on this album. My favorite album from The Wizard for sure. I'm so excited to keep up with this band. I love it. Number 3, I put Faustian Pact with Otogen, Tornian Varyoisa? I have no idea. I fucking adore this record. And I mean this in the most flattering way I can say it. This has a sort of Cradle of Filth sound, early Cradle of Filth. I love the really early Cradle of Filth stuff. It's just very symphonic black metal. The best use of female vocals I've ever heard is on, I think, the 4th song on the first side, I think. I don't know the songs by names because they're all in Finnish. But this is a perfect record. I've never heard, you know, a band in modern times release an album that sounds quite like this. And something about it it really sank its hooks into me, man. I'm excited to see what this band does in the future. This is a truly incredible record. If you've never heard Faustian Pact, get on it. Alright, this, I'm gonna say now, the top 2 are interchangeable. And normally, for me, if you go back and look at any of the other top whatever lists I did for that given year, it's always, the number one spot is always a controversial one for me. So, you know, sometimes my top spots are something that don't really fit with everything else I listen to, because I hear something sort of new and it catches my attention like nothing else does. So, we can call this number 2, and I'll do it for the sake of the video, but this is just as good as the number 1 record of the year for me. This is Molchat Doma with Monument. This is an 11 out of 10 album. I love every single moment of every song on this record. I would say my favorite is the song Discotheque, but the first song is one of the better ones. I don't know how to say it. Seriously, like you can skip around to any moment on this album and it'll make you want to fucking dance. I love the guy's sort of reverby, almost monotoned, ghosty sort of vocals. It fits fucking perfectly. If you see the music video for the song Discotheque, or just look up a video of this band playing live, it fits more perfectly than you think it could with the way that this stuff sounds. And I truly think that Molchat Doma is not just another post-punk band. This is something special. And it's hard for me to say if this is my favorite Molchat Doma album, because Itazi is fucking super good, and the first one, if not as good, is right behind. But man, it's hard to talk about because, you know, like the description of post-punk probably doesn't suck a lot of you in, but you've got to hear it, man. There's a reason that this is, you know, tied with number 1 or number 2 or whatever. I love it. And here's where we'll get all the boos, but I don't give a fuck. This record right here is another record that makes me want to fucking dance, and you know, I don't know, man. I fucking love this band. We'll give it number 1, Black Magic SS, Rainbow Nights. Yeah, dude, it's absolutely deserving of what I'm gonna call the number 1 spot. Black Magic SS, I didn't get to give the top spot to Spectral Ecstasy back in 2018 because I didn't make a top video that year. But it would have been number 1 for sure. And this album, I don't think I like it quite as much as Spectral Ecstasy. That's my favorite thing that Black Magic has done. But this record is as good as everything else that I love from this band. There are some songs on here that just blow everything else from this year out of the water. Endless Hallucinations, Get Out, and The Truth are the 3 that cannot be fucking touched. I love this project, and I'm always curious to see what's gonna come next. This is something that's different than, you know, pretty much everything else right now. There are some projects that have come out after this trying to sort of capture the same magic, but it just doesn't happen. I don't know what it is about this band, but I am under Black Magic SS spell like I can't describe. So, you know, like I said, get your dislike fingers ready. I don't give a fuck. This is the best thing. I'm gonna say this is the best thing that came out in 2020. Fuck you. God damn, that was a fucking gauntlet, man. I just rushed through like 50 albums. I don't know how long this is gonna be. I might cut out a lot of those sort of honorable mentions. It went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But yeah, man, I'm happy we made it through another fucking year. I'm glad I did this. I never really want to. I'm never in the mood to make one of these videos, but after it's done, I'm always glad I did it. So thanks for sticking with me through another year. I already know a few things coming out in 2021 that probably already have the top spot. You know, it's already theirs. But, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Thanks for sticking around. Hopefully this video doesn't suck shit like I know it probably will. But if you watched it all anyway, hats off to you. Thanks so much, and we'll talk soon, guys. Later.